let's start right here with the goal pad. And obviously there have been some changes this year from the P3 model. There's 4 key areas you guys like to touch on. One of them is the FlexCore boot design. It's probably softer than you guys have done in the past.
Yeah, the big goal with P4 was to truly provide goalies with more coverage. You know, we talk about NHL rules, and some people would perceive NHL regulations as stunting development. You know, what can we do? We have to be, 11 inches and so forth. But, that's where creativity really comes into play. Yeah. And, putting forth a challenge to Michelle Lefebvre and Patrick Lefebvre and the family is what I enjoy doing as far as developing the product. But, really the more coverage story comes with the open quick release knee cradle.
Okay.
Opening up this knee cradle, in the past you had an outer knee wrap, and the knee cradle, which is still available as a feature through the customized Senior Pro program, but this opened up knee cradle really allows the goalie to have his legs slide to the outside so the pad drops to the inside. And you see photos on our website of this smaller 5-hole, and that's huge, right? Especially for the butterfly style goaltender. So this quick release leg channel, or knee cradle I should say, was a key evolution. But what we also did is we didn't just stop there. The straps on a P3 came from the outside. And what happened was our endorsee goalies said, sometimes when I'm down in the butterfly, what happens is the pad was actually lifting up, especially in the thigh rise. Yeah. And you see it from lots of products at the pro level. So this was modified by actually putting the straps through the knee raiser. And what that does is when the goalie is down on the ice, it stabilizes his knee, and the straps are no longer lifting up from around the outside. They're actually pulling right through. We've used an injection molded EPE foam in here. This is where goalies are really noticing that stability. Carey Price was the one that said it. I'm more balanced, when he plays, and that's important because when you go down, you have to be able to stay upright. You got to still be able to cover the top. So balance and being able to achieve that. Also, with the NHL rules, this knee raiser, in the fact that it's attached near the front, actually ends up being shorter than the real knee raiser block. Right. Well, then you have a hole there. So by creating this 3D foam, we're actually able to create that stability, that flat inside landing pad.
Yeah. And for those of you who might not be able to see it, what she's talking about is there's a raised piece right here, and as you take the inner flap here and tuck it in, you're almost creating a flat surface right there, which is great, obviously, for a stable platform. But if you're going into a jiggy fly too, it gives you a little more coverage when closing the knees together.
Exactly, and more protection.
Right.
Now, this forward calf as well is a completely new design. This gives that solid seal. Every goalie I hear today that's trying this pad says to me, wow, I can't believe the seal to ice with this pad.
Yeah.
So this is huge. Again, providing that balance, but sealing the pad. But what's also unique with the calf is this also inside calf. So you have the flat calf that actually touches the ice, sealing the pad, okay? So you've covered all your holes. But this inner calf with the stitched break point is what cradles your leg. So it's comfortable, you're locked in, and the pad isn't going to over or under rotate.
Right.
And that's where we're really achieving also maximum coverage.
Right.
What we also did was this outer calf used to be straight along this outside binding edge. We've moved it in so you can actually now get this goal pad tight to the post. Okay, again, more coverage, sealing it. And of course, what you spoke about. New this year is always Premier and Reebok product had a stiffer boot. Of course you could have a double break, single break, adjust your flex, but we always use a stiffer boot. And some goalies said, I want just a little more flex at the ankle. So we've redesigned the injection molded core. That's one of the unique things about Reebok product is it's a full injection molded core, full foam core. This is where you get consistency. Go to the website and review the videos from Roberto Luongo and Crawford and Fleury. And what do these goalies talk about? The reason they wear Reebok is because it's consistent product. And we're able to achieve that through all the R&D and all the money we spend on injection molds and the foam core.
So in case some of you don't know what she's talking about, a lot of times when pads are made, there's sheets of foam that are either glued or stitched together. It might be 4 or 5 sheets that make up the thickness, but what Reebok does is they make a one-piece boot, essentially, boot and calf.
Yes.
That's one solid injection molded piece, which creates a lot of stability, and probably more stability you'll find in most pads, correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so you don't get shrinkage, over the season.
That's right.
And again, the goalies are saying, I want my pad not to break down too quickly. And they're going to be able to achieve that through this. So with the P4 option, there's now a V cut through this foam. So you have a little more flex and a softer, boot ankle flex area.
Right. And I know also, though the stock version comes in just a solid outer roll, there are also some breaks below and above the knee too. So internally, the reason I mentioned that is a lot of times you'll see a solid outer roll pad and you think, boy, that's really stiff. I'm like, but this one has a lot more flex than you'd think with a solid outer roll pad.
That's right. We have 2 cores. There's a pre-curved and the straight. So the pre-curved, they're actually molds that are created to create these 2 different flexes. But along with pre-curved and straight, you have so many break options.
Yeah.
There's 8 in total. And, and we really believe, you're going to be able to find the flexibility that you want through one of the 8 options.
Right.
Whether you want it extremely flexible with 2 breaks on the outside, 2 on the inside, or whether you want a stiffer pad with maybe just 1 below the knee, or if you want to be like Corey Crawford and you want that extra stiff pad, that's available as well.
That's great. And the straps are obviously adjustable.
Yep.
And a nice thing that you guys are doing this year too, if you can see it, is you're actually screwing them in. They're not just laced through a tab.
That's right.
So that keeps them locked in place. There's an extra tab up here for those who want a little higher strap option.
Correct.
And obviously a couple other little modifications.
Yep.
A lot of people have been calling for a double elastic strap. You guys finally accommodated this year. That's great. And I know you can either go across, and you can also go down too,
Right.
which kind of it serves 2 functions as far as I'm concerned. Keeps your leg in there, but it also opens up the knee a lot more too.
Yeah. Today, a lot of goaltenders are using big knee protectors, large knee protectors. And then again, this is why you need this open knee cradle.
Yep.
But by allowing this elastic to come down into the calf area, it gives you more mobility through the knee cradle.
Yeah, and then one more change I remember from the previous model is down here, I believe. There used to be an extra piece down near your boot, correct?
Yes.
And I know some goalies were complaining that pad would hit the ice, they'd bottom out a little bit. You guys removed that, and actually it's become more durable this year because you've added some Clarino down here.
Yep.
So that's great. And I know I probably touched on it earlier, but we weighed these here in the warehouse. This set came out to 4.96 pounds. That's just super light. Yeah. That's a 34 plus 2, so that's incredibly light.
And again, it's going to be more consistent with every pad that a customer receives. Obviously, the longer the pad, you're going to add a little bit of weight, but our pads are not hand-stuffed with, chips or worms or deer hair. Well, strips of foam type of thing.
Yeah, of course.
It's this foam core so that every pad is consistent. So you're not going to have, even for a store, several in the store that are different weights.
Yeah, that's right. So, and of course, the design, I remember when the pad first came out, there was a lot of chatter online like, oh my gosh, that's probably the ugliest. They were expecting something more. But then the Customizer came out, and they saw that how many customizable zones you could have on this pad. And now the world has gone nuts over the P4 design. Yeah. So one of the sexier designs I think you'll see on pads this year.
Yeah.
So
we really wanted to be able to achieve the opportunity for goalies to create their own look, but with the same graphic. And you're able to do that with the A to H zone configuration.
Yep.
And when the graphic was first launched, we did some simple. A lot of goalies want more white. So we were playing around with that more like white look, just putting some color in some of the smaller sections. And there was some criticism. I don't take it personally because I knew they didn't understand all the options that were going to be available.
That's right.
It was launched.
So can we touch just a little bit on custom options? I know you've put out an entire catalog on just custom options for the P4 line, and that'll be available on PDF. We'll have it on TotalHockey.com fairly soon. Yeah. But I'm sure that's a question that some people want to know is, besides some of the customizable, obviously the boot channel, you can customize the depths of that. Yeah. You can customize brakes. Can you touch on some of the other customizations available?
First of all, just so all the goalies know, the photographs of all the options are available on our ReebokHockey.com website. So when you go to the Reebok website, you go to the Goalie Customizer, you can see videos of our endorsees talking about their gear, and you can click to the customizer. Once you get to the customizer, you'll see drop down of the options, so the different flexes, the strap setups. If you click on a little question mark, it shows photos of all those, so you can actually see what all those options are.
Great.
So as I mentioned, there's 8 different breaks, so you can go from extremely flexible to a stiffer pad. You also have straps set up. So there is the adjustable option, but some guys want them stitched in. So you can get a thigh and a knee strap. You can get straps just at the knee, below the knee. The reason for this is because, for example, if you're a guy that wears a pad like Corey Crawford, extra stiff, you don't want your straps in the thigh. It's redundant. It makes no sense. You want to keep your straps either in the knee or below the knee.
Right.
But on the other side, if you wanted a more flexible pad and you were going for the double break, you would possibly want straps, at least for sure at the knee and as well at the thigh area. And that's why you can either do it as an adjustment or have them stitched right in the knee and the thigh, which is what Marc-Andre Fleury has.
Right, and that's a neat thing about your catalog too, and you touched on it, is once you get to the catalog, you'll be able to see Marc-Andre Fleury and his complete setup.
That's right.
Roberto Luongo and his complete setup.
Their leg channel, their
yeah.
straps set up, and so forth.
Really smart marketing by you guys. Wonder who designed that.
Well, so many goalies say, what's he wearing?
Yeah, I know. That's a great option by you guys. So, okay, so that's the P4 pad. 40% of the goalies in the NHL started wearing this pad when NHL training camps opened. So, I mean, I don't know if you can ask for a more successful launch than that.